Coming to you from Portage La Prairie, Manitoba, this is ShawTV's live coverage of the 2015 Canadians Men's Classic. This event is part of the World Curling Tour and is proudly sponsored by Canadians. Hello everybody, I'm your host Mike Valente. I'm upstairs here at the Tavern United, connected to the Canadians. We are ready for our prime time matchup. That is Team Hartung versus Team Edin. And for more on the matchup, let's go downstairs to Mike Beauregard and Kathy Gauthier.
All right, thanks, Mike. Kathy, 8 teams make tomorrow's playoff rounds. 4 have already been determined. 4 more will be determined tonight in our C event finals. And our marquee matchup tonight, the featured match, pits the defending world champion, Niklas Edin, up against Jeff Hartung of Saskatchewan.
You know, it sounds kind of like a David and Goliath situation, but the edge is that 2 of these 4 games are B-side qualifier losers, and that's the case in this particular one. It's not 2 C matchups. So you have the Edin team that has a little bit of an edge for sure, but they've just come off a really tough loss. It was a game that we talked a little bit about earlier. It was tied up the whole way. They lose that game. They had a really quick flip to get back out here versus the Hartung team that was down 6-2 at one point and stole their way back in that game, went an extra end against Willie Lyburn. And even though their turnaround was shorter, they're at a very high because they came back 4 points, stole it to win. That equalizes the experience.
Well, we talked about how deep the field here is in Portage with a $60,000 purse. I guess it's a testament to that the world champion is having to make the playoffs through the C event in Portage La Prairie.
Well, it is, and if you look at the teams that are out here, we have 3 international teams on the ice tonight. We have the team from the U.S., the team from Japan, and the team from Sweden. So this not only is a reflection of the field, but also the depth of teams from outside of Canada. That's great for the sport.
Well, I'm looking forward to this matchup. Rink from Saskatchewan up against a 2-time world champion, and we'll have that for you in just a moment. You're watching the Canadians Men's Classic from Portage on ShawTV.
In his first 2 seasons of curling, Alex Marchand won 7 games. 8 games. In that time, he put together a 2-game winning streak, got new uniforms, met an Olympic gold medalist, made the front page of Curling Monthly. He explained to his boss what sweeping does, and got his butt kicked by a guy with a fake hip. Yes, Alex the Hack Marchand has had quite a year, and it all started with a click.
Hey guys, what's up?
Frank forgot to bring the ball. Sorry. So now we need something we can throw and kick that's not too big and slightly oblong.
What are you guys looking at? The least I can say, I'm naturally talented at football!
If you love the game as much as we do, go deep with the Shaw Road to the Grey Cup with exclusive interviews, game day features, and more.
Canadians Destination Centers, proud to support our community with 10 destination centers in Manitoba.
At ShawTV, we are proud to bring you live events and we value your comments. Call the ShawTV viewer response line now, 204-480-3500, or email us, shawtvwinnipeg@shaw.ca, and let us know how we're doing. Or find us on Facebook and Twitter at ShawTV Winnipeg.
Welcome back to Portage, the 2015 Canadians Men's Classic. 4 teams have qualified already for the playoffs. Stephen Laycock is in, Brad Jacobs, Kevin Cooey, and Charlie Thomas of the Glencoe Curling Club in Calgary, who knocked off world champion Niklas Edin, forcing him to this C event final, where 4 more teams this evening will qualify to make it a final 8. And Edin, in our featured match, takes on Jeff Hartung of Langenburg, Saskatchewan. So that's our featured matchup, and we'll keep you updated on the other 3 C event finals, pitting Reed Crothers of Manitoba, our defending champion in Manitoba, in fact, up against Brown, Botcher, is playing Keen, and Morizumi of Japan faces Dunstone, Matt Dunstone of East St. Paul. So we have some local flavor on the C event draw this evening. And Kathy, that was quite a run upstairs from downstairs. I'm not as young as I used to be.
Well, no, but...
Although I still look like an athlete.
Yes.
But I don't feel like one anymore. No.
What a really short time turnaround for this team as we take a look at them. A little disappointed in the headgear of one young man. Blue Jays would be the way to go right now, buddy. But for this team, they really have got to be feeling good. They were down 6-2 at one point in that last game and kept stealing themselves back in. Willie had to make a really good shot to concede 2 and 8 to put the game into an extra. It was facing 3 at the time. And then they went into the extra, and there were about 3 stones in the 4-foot, and he had to run about a 16-foot run back, and I don't even know if he could have got shot, so he elected to try to make an angle raise on a stone near the hog line, and just so tough, just not made. And the turnaround probably maybe 10, 15 minutes for this Edin team, a little bit more, maybe an hour. But again, as we talked about, played a very tough game and did wind up losing that game. Didn't really want to be out here tonight. Charlie Thomas had other ideas. He advanced in that earlier game.
Good line right now. Hard line, Harry. Yeah, I gotta go line. Where is it?
I'm not really sure. You want to cross?
I don't know.
We cross it or get some space? Go, Ty. Go. Go, go, go.
Not sure.
Okay.
Well, the Edin rink, Kathy, won their first 2 games, but then ran into Stephen Laycock, who wound up getting one of the qualifying berths in the A event. And as you mentioned, they were upended by Charlie Thomas on the B side, so now they're forced to try to qualify for tomorrow's playoffs through the C event. Mike McEwen, if you're just joining us, was eliminated. 2-time defending champion, 4-time champion overall. Done. Along with the likes of Guy Hemmings, Daley Peters, the Howard rink.
Absolutely. There are so many great teams. There is no free lunch involved in this event. So if you are an A, B, or C, you cannot assume that because you lost, you'll fall to an easier game. There's always somebody equally as tough to play. Clardecock with his second stone.
The Edin rink's been pretty busy on the World Curling Tour. They won the first event of the year in Switzerland. Conversely, the Hartung rink, I would assume many of them have day jobs. They've played a couple of events, one in Saskatoon and one just last week, actually.
Well, that is
Canada.
The big difference for sure. Mike, you just touched on it. A lot of these European teams are paid by their countries to really focus on their sport. They're carded, and unlike our carded athletes who sometimes do also do other things, for a lot of these European teams, their mission is to go on the road and find a way to get better at their craft, and so often that means spending great lengths of time here in Canada. And Edin's team is a very frequent player on the slams. You'll see him almost every event that they play, and so they do often just stay here, and there's not a chance that you can have a job and do that at the same time, so they are paid to curl.
And all that hard work has paid off. They won the World Championship this year and also won back in 2013. 2-time world champions, and I don't think Sweden had a world champion in a long time. You'd have to go back to
Pia Lindholm.
Maybe.
And I'm trying to remember the last year that Pia would have won.
For a guy, it was probably 03 or 04.
Yes, it would have been quite some time ago. So he, for sure, put Sweden back on the map. Not that it ever left. Their women have been very dominant in the sport for many, many years, and certainly if factor to consider.
Right over, guy, right over.
And there's a look at Edin, Olympic bronze medalist in 2014.
And I think that for a lot of young folks that are watching, he is a great example. He's not a large man. He's not 6 feet by any stretch of the imagination, but I always equate him to someone like Paul Casey in golf. It's not how big you are, it is your technique and the strength. And this is a young man that can throw a ton of weight, and it really is all about technique and leg drive and all of those good things. So you don't have to be super huge to be able to throw that big weight. It really is about working on foot positioning, leg drive, as we'll probably have a chance to see this game.
I'm just impressed that you know who Paul Casey is.
Well, I'm a big golf fan, you know that.
There you go.
I remember looking at Paul Casey years ago when I went to the FedEx Cup, because my son Jacques was not a very big kid at the time, and I kept thinking, okay, here's the sport, because we were talking, you were a goalie at the time, he was a goalie, and he wasn't a very big goalie. Golf is a great game, so is curling, regardless of your size.
Well, unlike our last match at 5 o'clock, they had a fairly clean first end. Got some rocks in play here. Fortunately, Kathy does not speak Swedish.
No, I can't help you at all.
You know several languages, but that's not one of them, I guess?
That's definitely not.
I did ask you, just
I said
in
I've
case.
no Swedish heritage, no matter how
All right.
far you look. Oscar Eriksson, a former junior champion out of Sweden, a great addition to this team at the 3rd position. Looking for the roll. Just finishes a little bit more than they had hoped. I don't know whether it was a combination of the weight being down just a little bit. Sticks around, but it certainly is not buried.
Well, there are 3 Hartungs on this team. Skip Jeff, 3rd Cody,
For sure.
2nd Tyler, and they couldn't find another one, so Claire DeCock is playing lead tonight.
And if you're looking at that scoreboard, it will confuse you. It's showing that the Hartung team is throwing Yellowstones and Edin blue. It is, in fact, the opposite.
Mittemellan. Ja.
Final 3rd stone for Eriksson.
Plays the guard, nicely covers off their stone.
Yeah.
And that forces the run off the center one, looking to run the center stone straight back. Onto the 8-foot stone, onto the shot stone. That's a great shot. Really nice control weight. Sweeper's able to keep it straight enough. That center line is pretty straight with any sort of weight whatsoever. Plays nice control weight. And a reminder that it is the team throwing Blue Rocks, the Hartung team that does have last rock here in the first end. Line 2, and from the hack, you can see pieces of both. That's a great shot right there of what he can see.
Into skip rocks now in the first end. There's Niklas Edin, defending world champion. Through the port.
Gets one and nicely rolls buried. That double was very, very difficult, if not even there. Just because of the way that he could only see bits and pieces.
Is there any way you could get one there and have them each half showing?
Well, then you could line it up, you know.
Yeah.
That?
What if you draw here? He rolls. He's not even going to get shot.
He's playing that though.
You'd have to, yeah. You'd have to be deep, yeah.
I don't know if we can get through there.
I'd like that. If we could get, can we get through, guys? Is there enough room? It'd be great if we could do this.
Which way?
I think we can do it with the out turn, can't we?
If we can, I like it.
If you just get by the yellow narrowly, I think you're still good. There's no other turn, I don't think. I mean, the other thing is you would do this, but then you'd push that behind the tee and he welds. I don't like that. I'd sooner do this one.
Do you like that split? It's so hard to get through there, though. I don't know if it is either. What's that? Is the in turn easier?
I think if you're going to play the split, the in turn's easier than the out turn.
Really? Do you guys like this?
Just have to navigate the hole and we're okay.
Do you like the run? I don't know. That's pretty tough, Dad.
So what do you like?
Same as Ty.
Well,
no.
You can make it pretty good. Okay.
That's great that Jeff has confidence.
Are you throwing normal?
Yeah.
In his son, but that is a small hole. It looks pretty large, but it curls a lot. And the risk is that you come across the face, you tap that stone back behind the tee line. Edin comes in and your end disappears. So he's electing to play the run straight back, feeling he's just seen what this does exactly in the spot.
First of the skip stones for the Hartung team. Third, Cody takes care of last rocks.
That's pretty good. And one of the things they talked about, Jeff did, is maybe we could sort of Christmas tree show them pieces of each, and playing that run back and the roll of this stone here, it essentially has that same net effect.
På båda.
I believe you just said they're lying to Kathy.
Det är den rakare handen också, va? Jag behöver ta en cent ifrån Chapp.
Skicka den här på dubbeln är lite risk. Jag behöver halvträff på ovansidan där.
Tappa vår tvåa och sen försöka ta tillbaka en tvåa.
Bara klira den i hålet då. Lite järnbrist på den, men jag tror inte det är så mycket att ligga kvar. Han kommer ju ha hela 8-foten och mer därtill. Så.
Well, a couple of options. One of the things that he initially talked about is you play that draw around, but if you don't make that, you can give up 3 in this first end. There really isn't a double, and so what he'll do is he'll remove that 1 stone. If he can stick around, it makes the draw for the second point that much more difficult.
Last stone for Niklas Edin in the first end of this C event final, facing 2 Jeff Hartung. And he'll give up at least 1 with last rock forthcoming.
I think even there.
Okay. This is a bit wider. I don't know, yours went nuts here, Cutter, your first one. Yeah, I know, I was middle 8 foot. That's why I didn't give you very much ice. 0 should be there.
Last rock, first end.
Mine's good.
Chance for 2.
Mine's good, guys.
For Cody
Mine's
Hartung,
good.
who throws skip
Mine's good.
stones.
Mine's good. We got lots of room. Stay with it.
Clean it in. Clean it, Ty.
Mine's really nice here, Ty. Good.
Nicely done.
Cody. Atta boy.
And it's 2 in the opening end for the Jeff Hartung foursome out of Saskatchewan. They lead defending world champion Niklas Edin with lots of curling to come. We're back with more from the Canadians Men's Classic right after this. Stay tuned.
Canada West football is live on Shaw. Tune in Friday, October 23rd when the high-flying UBC Thunderbirds touch down in Saskatoon for a battle with the Saskatchewan Huskies. Crown Produce, Canada West football, only on Shaw.
ShawTV wants to send 2 deserving recipients to the 103rd Grey Cup. Do you know a super fan, a football player doing great work in their community, or perhaps a teacher who goes above and beyond for their students? Tell us why this person deserves a pair of tickets to the Grey Cup, and they will be entered to win tickets to the biggest CFL game of the year.
Canad's Destination Centers, proud to support our community with 10 destination centers in Manitoba.
Welcome back to Portage. 2-0 is the score. Jeff Hartung leading Niklas Edin in our C event final. The winner advances to tomorrow's championship round. We have 3 other C event finals going on, and Reed Crothers has opened up a 3-0 lead on Craig Brown with 3 in the first end. Reed losing in the B event finals to Kevin Cooey, a match we brought to you at 5 o'clock today, and we'll be back on the air tomorrow with the championship final at 6 p.m. if you can't make it down here. 3 draws tomorrow with 8 teams vying for that first place check of $18,000. There'll be a draw at 10 a.m., another one at 2, the semifinals at 2, and the final again at 6.
We're on the yellow. We're on the yellow.
We're super tight.
Whoa, over, bud. That's good.
As Kathy mentioned in our opening, this Hartung foursome didn't have much time between their previous game, C event semifinal against Willie Lyburn. It went right down to the wire. They rallied from a 6-2 deficit to win in an extra end, but had about, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes of turnaround time. But they won and seem to have a bit of momentum here. Edin lost to Charlie Thomas, who's got one of those 4 spots. It's Thomas, Cooey, Stephen Laycock, and Brad Jacobs. Already in and likely watching from their rooms or grabbing a bite to eat or maybe a sauna or something.
And this is Jeff Hartung in the program, and what's what I recall the team Jeff Hartung, they had listed it as him skipping and his son Cody as the 4th rock thrower, but in fact it seems to be that Cody is not only throwing last rock, but he's actually skipping. So I guess they've obviously changed that up. Maybe earlier in the year the dad called the shots and the kid threw the last stones, but now Cody is doing both. Well, a definite in-out motion on the release of this stone. Was hoping to get to that nose. His weight's pretty good, but with how he threw it, just did not get that automatic movement that you would expect in that spot. See Reed in the background, playing Craig Brown from the United States. The stones being eliminated in this end. Niklas Edin electing to ignore the corner guard that he threw and manipulate the stones thrown in play by the Hartung team. And by not using that corner guard, the play is all in the house. There's certainly ways to score 2 all in the house. Most of the time when you throw the corner guard, you try to utilize it. But this type of strategy for sure makes it very simple in terms of process for the Hartung team to make decisions. It's a rock in the house, it's yellow, you remove it.
Just a hair roll and even onto center is pretty good. I think so, yeah.
Clean it, whoa.
The weight's okay.
Clean it, whoa. Well, right off now, guys, right off. Okay, roll it all the way down.
Right over. Keep going, Tom. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay. Good.
Mitt i krukan eller på en tapp och styr upp så. Den är en halv sten högre.
And again, I'm going to repeat, I know no Swedish whatsoever, but it appeared that by his gestures, he was indicating to Oscar that it is the stone that is on the pin that is a little bit higher than the other one. And so there is a little bit of a pocket, but if he were to tap one, he would tap the stone to the right before the other one. Just trying to share information, because sometimes from the hack, it's difficult to see those things.
Bra linje. Kom igen, kom igen, kom igen.
Very nice weight.
You touch it right on the nose. Can we jiggle at both of them? The Blues?
What's that?
That's great execution for sure. Kudos to the sweepers for reading it so well and for the ice given, but well thrown by Oscar. Freezes it absolutely perfect on an angle, so there's jam written all over this stone for the Hartung
right
team.
Maybe just talk, just to move these.
I think it should work, Claire.
And you hear the decision for Cody knows that there's no way to blast that stone without it jamming on another blue one. So just trying to move those stones around a little bit, shake them up, maybe create some different angles so that that yellow stone can be removed on the next shot.
Looking at some of the other C event finals, Kathy, as I mentioned, Reed Crothers is a 3-0 lead in his match. It is Brendan Botcher leading Mark Keane 2-0. And the Morozumi rink out of Japan is a 1-0 lead on Matt Dunstone. Winners advance, losers are done.
Ja, den går ju trycka ända. Bara så han inte kan spela dubbel. Ja.
Känns som det bästa slaget är att göra den här. Försöka hamna mitt framför den och ner den där någonstans där.
Ja, få bort den från centrum liksom.
Ja. Helst bättre. Jag måste vara bättre än den, men helst. Egentligen viktigast att slagstenen ligger kvar någonstans så de inte får dubbeln så. Ligger kvar någonstans.
Trycker man ner den för långt med för tunt så är det risk att man kan. Ja. Men ja, jag är på den.
Ja.
Bak 12 fart.
Ja. Kan du rulla lite grann in i klykan där så borde jag inte kunna ta sig ut ändå.
Bak 12.
For sure the discussion is where do we put this stone so there is no double opportunity for the Hartung team. If you freeze to the stones that are in the 12-foot, 8-foot, you will be fourth shot or potentially third, and they blast your shot stone, and then you're scrambling to try to find a way to score two. So it appears that what they want to do is tap their shot stone back and roll the shooter into those mess of blue stones and not create a double. If they remove one, they being the Hartung team, that's fine. They want to make sure that there's no double when this is done.
This should all drag. It should catch it. But I think you need to be just a hair on this side.
Okay.
Just a hair board side.
Yeah, right
See,
there,
they're looking at hitting
so,
the
yeah.
yellow.
It
It
looks
clips
pretty
that
good
blue
for
one in
that.
the 4-foot. And the way that other yellow is, it will drag straight over sideways, the way Jeff is sweeping it.
It should all go.
And potentially get rid of both of those yellows.
Nose might work, but not all on Claire's side works.
Into skip stones now, second end. They'll get rid of both of those yellows. And they do. And there's still a fair amount of blue in the house.
For Oscar, unfortunately, wound up putting that stone with the separation in not an ideal spot, and was absolutely seen and made. You see that yellow one on the far right-hand side that did come off the boards. I don't know that it will come into play, and obviously nobody saw that or cares.
There's a look at Niklas Edin. He's had a couple of back surgeries.
If you can hit this right on the nose, you'll leave one of the blue stones, but you could be frozen to it. Man down.
I'll just be normal then, Jed.
Normal there? Okay, yep. Sounds good.
Maybe take a bit more. It might go, eh?
We can play it, I mean, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Well.
That was it.
Last stone for Cody Hartung.
By rolling out, they're looking at whether there's a way to double these two and get out. But gosh, you are flirting with the boards, that's for sure.
Skulle den ändå sitta, så faller ju missen. Och tjej, de skäl ut två då om vi tar i borden.
Skulle den dra curl som är clearing så kan man ju nästan vicka inåt också. Det är inte jättemånga cent ifrån.
Nej, det är ju 2-3 cent.
Så är det ju 3/4 liksom. Och drar en curl tidigt så kan man ju vicka in. Känns som vi behöver nollan, eller?
2 cent utsida gör den ju.
Frågan hur det kommer. Det kan ju nästan backa ut i sargen där också. Eller så finns det curl där. Det är lite svårt att veta bara.
Jag vet inte. Vill vi ta ettan eller?
This is a really tough shot to
Jag
blank.
har nuddar man sargen själv med 2 då är matchen över. Kanske jag drar för ettan då. Ingen svår take, men det är svårt att veta hur det går. Det skulle kunna falla, det skulle kunna dra ganska mycket curl. Jag tror det kommer curla och trycka till den om man åker.
They're still not convinced yet.
I'm certainly not. That's really tough. You have to hit that almost at the same time as you hit the boards, and you touch the boards, you give up a steal of 2 and you're down 4. And I know he doesn't like the idea of taking 1. Saner heads prevailed. I think that's a really good decision.
Last rock, second end. Niklas Edin down 2-0. Forced to take 1, looking to draw.
Nicely done. Lots of game to go. Keep the game within reach. Anything can happen.
So Niklas Edin is on the board, cuts the lead to 2-1 in our featured match, a C event final against Jeff Hartung of Saskatchewan. Back with much more in just a moment. You're watching the Canad Inns Men's Classic from Portage.
Just a social media hit for you guys here. We want to engage all of you here on Twitter. At ShawTV Winnipeg is our handle. We've already got some love from Sumo Susie and Hollywood Holly. And hey, if you're in the mood for some fish and chips or some chicken fingers or a Caesar salad, for instance, come on down to Tavern United here at Portage La Prairie's Canad Inns. But remember, at the door, we're going to be checking no directional fabric. This is the 2015 Canad Inns Men's Classic. Back in a moment on ShawTV.
So you think you're a big shot? You're not. Fame is fleeting, Johnny. You have to earn it. They don't just give it to you. You're here because you love the game. Not for the interviews. Not for the endorsements. You can't forget where you came from.
Hey! What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
At ShawTV, we are proud to bring you live events and we value your comments. Call the ShawTV viewer response line now, 204-480-3500, or email us, shawtvwinnipeg@shaw.ca, and let us know how we're doing. Or find us on Facebook and Twitter at ShawTV Winnipeg.
Tavern Unite.
Welcome back to the Canad Inns Men's Classic. Our final 4 qualifying games are taking place right now. It's Jeff Hartung in our featured match, leading Niklas Edin 2-1. Reed Crothers of Manitoba has a 3-0 lead on Craig Brown of Minnesota. Matt Dunstone of Manitoba trails Yazuki Morozumi of Japan 1-0. And it's the Keen Botcher match. Brendan Botcher, who eliminated Mike McEwen, has a 2-0 lead on Mark Keen. So 4 games. Winners advance, losers go home. And we'll be down to 8 in the 4 qualifiers tonight.
You're okay though out here.
We'll join Stephen Laycock, Brad Jacobs, Kevin Cooey, and Charlie Thomas.
Some really great teams already advancing. When you think about those teams that you listed, Steve had a great year last year at the Brier. Charlie Thomas represented Canada internationally at the mixed doubles, certainly a former junior champion. Brad Jacobs, lots of accolades. Of course, the gold medal will forever be associated with their name. Some great teams through already. Who did I miss? Cooey, world champion. So some great teams through and some great 4, no doubt, from these sheets will advance. Should be a great day of curling tomorrow. It was wonderful to hear Kevin Cooey say earlier after his game that they view this as one of the toughest fields on the tour. And that speaks volumes to the hard work this committee have done to ensure that the great quality that they have in this year and responsibility every year stays that good.
Get to here.
And just picking up on what Mike Valente said, I'm also wearing directional fabric tonight. Not only does
I wasn't
Mike,
quite sure what to call that jacket. But
not only, it's not the jacket, it's the shirt. Not only does the shirt look good, but it can slow down and manipulate rocks.
Outstanding.
So
just throw it in front of a rock and watch it stop.
Just attach it to the bottom of your broom.
Throw a back line at this, maybe.
Okay.
Back line. And by playing back line, what he's really trying to have Jeff do is unlock those stones. He's able to move his shot stone back just a little bit, then maybe they can play a hit on another stone and get rid of the yellow ones the way it is right now. It's also set up for Niklas Edin to play the tap-tap and wind up shot. And this just is a matter of extra weight. We saw earlier this afternoon on this sheet where we did our earlier game, we heard the teams talking that it was as fast as it had ever been. close to 15 and a bit between the hogs. Splitting 4 or 4 plus. We certainly had not seen that until this point. And so as those ice conditions change, you have to really take that extra second in the hack to remind yourself that this game, this sheet is different potentially than what you've played on before.
Risken är att man fryser egen där, då kan de skjuta på trippen så ligger de 2. Kanske bara frysa på en till där.
Rak frys eller lite insida, men.
Still early yet. Gonna place another stone right on top.
Last of the second stones, this is Christian Lidström.
Snyggt.
Yeah, okay, so he said back line, so 6 feet hard.
I think nose.
Okay. What is going on here, Kathy?
Nose could be dangerous,
Dead
actually.
nose? Actually, let's go over the top. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Hard. Yep. Really hard. Hard. Yeah, it's not bad. No, it's not bad.
Actually, it turned out pretty good. He unlocked, kept one of his there, and that stone is probably 3/4 open, but difficult to get to. Edin owns that whole 4-foot center part. But he still has the 4-foot right now, the Hartung team does.
Here's Edin third, Oscar Eriksson.
Trying to run that guard of theirs back onto the lonely blue stone in the house.
Virtually right on the nose with a lot of gas, I think.
Tying right on the nose, and there's a lot of stuff moving. Angles look pretty good. Like it should almost carry him and get the one side one, I'm thinking. There shouldn't be much in play, but the one and a biter.
This is Tyler Hartung throwing third stones.
No. No.
Good.
Well, he not only moved them around, he did still leave Edin lying too, but the most important part for the Hartung team is that there was a block of stones on the center line, just a little bit off, that were starting to close the scoring area down. It's all moved and shifted over to the right side of the sheet, more of the 4-foot exposed. For Cody, always looking to make sure that you've got a path on your final stone.
Jo, kanske. Kommer vara överkant och underkant, men de ligger så nära så, ja. Är den bättre? Det är risk. Får man ner den bakom 10 så fryser de här.
Kanske det är bäst att ha sidan 4-foten där. Eller? Ja. Spelaren vilken ska ju du slå in våran där? Ja. Tror vi samma fart där eller lite trögare i mitten?
Well, the play is to draw to the 4-foot on the open side of the house. That's their call.
I like the hit and flop.
Wanna go in here?
Like, I mean behind cover.
Bryce
Yeah.
plays that then.
Well,
Go normal. Think play this die.
oh, he's scared of the slash for those guys. Okay.
Last of the third stones. Here's the second from Tyler Hartung.
Mikael, dit den.
Chappen är ju ingen bra, eller ja, gör han den då får man ju bara runda T-line där. Den borde jag väl göra någorlunda.
Gör vi chappen. Han kan ju nästan få trippeln.
Ja. Vi har ju inte så mycket med att rulla av egentligen. Tror han rundar nu.
Rundar så drar vi efter.
Man borde ju ha antingen den eller
runda
efter.
efter.
Känns som att rulla in den där. Även om vi låser upp de där två så tar det bort hans dragning där.
Ja, jag tycker slå den där i alla fall.
10 så. Försöker ha marginal utåt. Men... Jag bara vicka en halv sten så är det i alla fall ingen trippel. 10 och rulla lite utåt.
Well, removing the stone belonging to the Hartung team, clearly discussing whether you roll behind the guard or not. Know that Cody's particularly concerned about that. The shot stone is wide open in the 8-foot.
Into skip stones now, third ends. The Hartung foursome has a 2-1 lead and last rock.
I talked about a roll. He almost over-rolled because by rolling as far as he did, there's a couple of options for Cody Hartung to try to score multiple points. He could utilize that corner guard and go around and be buried. Could freeze to the stone where the broom is on the right.
Where does he go though then? If you go there, where does he go?
Maybe try and guard it. You guys like this? Well, we probably need. I think that's lots. Top 8. Top 8, actually. We can't get shot by doing this. But, and then I don't really want to be that deep so you can freeze. Top 8. Okay.
First stone for Cody Hartung.
Toss, Cody. Boy.
Nice weight in front of that tee line forces Niklas Edin to corner freeze on the corner, which is a much more difficult shot than if he was back a foot and he could come down to it. And for Cody, a great shot, a great chance to maybe find a way to score too. And if this is made perfectly, he still has the opportunity to draw for a single or hit whatever he prefers, but he also had a chance to find and feel confident with draw weight.
Sikta bite T-line, försöker jag inte kalla över bara. Ganska lätt och fint, va?
Last stone for Niklas Edin with last rock to come.
Den är lång, eller? Ska vi farten? Bara bajta till. Wow, wow, bara frys om det går, den är lång, va? 14-2.
Go, Dad.
Your double opportunity.
Because they're close.
Half.
I don't think any thicker.
Yeah, third probably gets it too, eh?
Because you can get it off. If you get it off the top, you're still twirling into that one. So that's the turn you like better than any of them? The out turn? Okay. A thick third though for sure.
Thick third. Half is thickest, I think.
Looking for a third, even a little bit more than third. Remove that stone, roll across, make the double on the stone, and the edge of the forefoot just thrown by Niklas Edin.
Last rock, third end, Cody Hartung. Looking for a double, and what could be a pivotal shot in this game.
Very nice.
And he makes it for a deuce. And a 4-1 lead for Jeff Hartung's team out of Langenburg, Saskatchewan over the defending world champion, Niklas Edin. You're watching the Canadiens Men's Classic live from Portage La Prairie on ShawTV. Stick around.
Machinery WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Wednesday, October 28th when the Lethbridge Hurricanes storm into the Coliseum for a big battle with the Vancouver Giants. Levitt Machinery WHL Hockey, only on Shaw.
I'm Amy Purdy. At 19, I contracted bacterial meningitis. With less than a 2% chance to live, I slipped into a coma and lost both of my legs below the knee. Now I have lots of legs, and I feel lucky. Lucky to be alive, so I can tell you, not all meningitis is the same. Not all vaccines are the same. Get the one that fully protects your child. The Meningitis Research Foundation of Canada can help. Now you know.
Canad's Destination Centers, proud to support our community with 10 destination centers in Manitoba.
There's a look at some of our spectators here in Portage. Some smiling faces, and they may be from Saskatchewan for all we know, watching a Saskatchewan rink take a 4-1 lead on two-time world champion Niklas Edin. Your thoughts on what you've seen thus far, Kathy?
Well, I think that the Hartung team's really taken advantage of the opportunities that have presented themselves, and Niklas Edin just that little bit off. He had great draw weight. If he's even with that last stone, he's going to force Hartung to make a good shot for the single, but you know, he slides just that little bit deep, and kudos to the Hartung team for jumping on those opportunities when they can.
This is a C event final. The winner qualifies for the playoff round, the championship round tomorrow. The loser is eliminated, and we've got 3 other matches going on right now. We should update you on those. So Reed Crothers has a 3-2 lead on Craig Brown of the U.S., Brendan Botcher of Alberta, and Mark Keane are tied 2-2. And Matt Dunstone is down 1-0 to Yasuki Morozumi of Japan. Again, winners qualify for the final 8 tomorrow. First draws at 10 a.m. Quarterfinals, semifinals are at 2, and the final is at 6 o'clock here tomorrow night at the Portage Curling Club, and we'll have that live for you on Shaw as well, 6 p.m.
I just took a peek over. Matt Dunstone's team were facing 2. Matt tried to draw to the 4-foot, slid deep, and so it's a steal by the Japanese. So they take that 2-0 edge into the 4th. Dunstone team, one of several junior teams that had the opportunity to play in this. Reigning world junior champion Braden Calvert and his team were here. They're gone. Sean Davidson, a local team, was asked to fill in at the last minute and did. And that was really great to see those boys have the opportunity to play in that. And what a neat experience to be able to play the likes of Glenn Howard if you're a junior team.
Howard has been eliminated. Mike McEwen is gone.
Howard was, in fact, eliminated by the Morozumi team earlier today. So for Team Sweden, if you will, needs to really try to utilize those corner guards. If you remember in the second end, it was a similar situation, and Niklas ignored the corner guard he had thrown and tried to manipulate the stones in the house. And the Hartung team eliminated all the guards, and there really wasn't a way for Niklas to score more than 2, and he was forced to take that single. This time, changing tactics a little bit, trying to utilize that corner guard. Jeff being asked to pick that stone out, playing it very tight, so if he hits the guard, that's not the end of the world. You want to get one or the other for sure.
That's a really nice spot there.
Stay tuned for our 4th end break. We'll go downstairs to Mike Valente, who will talk to both skips. This is the biggest event on the World Curling Tour thus far. $60,000 in prize money. $18,000 will go to our champion.
Niklas. Ja. Bakåt. Hårt. Kontroll. Hårt.
Deciding that he probably wasn't going to get the movement around that corner guard that he wanted, going back to tapping the stones.
And we should mention, Kathy, that we'll be back here next weekend.
You will be,
broadcasting on
yes,
Shaw for
with
the Canadian Women's Classic.
My former colleague, Maureen Bonner, will be joining you alongside. And that will be terrific. It really is great, the back-to-back weekends in this building. Some of the best teams in the world, first the men and then the women come. And in between that, of course, this week, the very first inaugural event that will provide cards, D cards, to some athletes for the mixed doubles process on the road to determining Canadian teams that wish to play and try to represent our country at the Olympics in the mixed doubles. Now that they've tapped that stone back to the tee line, Oscar trying to sit on the stone that was just tapped on the earlier, and that's why you do it. You try to create a little bit of a wall behind the tee line, get those stones off the front of the house, something that you can utilize to freeze too. That's lovely. He's made a couple of those freezes just perfectly.
won't go through.
It's a great touch player. Great read by the brushers. You watch, there's absolutely no bounce whatsoever. Judged it great.
Yeah, anything near nose is real good.
Here's Tyler Hartung.
Just trying to get to the nose. They know that they're going to lose their back stone that it's frozen to. Really want to be on the beak, which he is, which creates the same problem for Niklas Edin that he just faced.
Du ska ta lite utsida. Även om du tappar en utsida och hamnar där, så kommer de där ligga för att ligga lätt dubbel där. Bak 8-12. Bak 12.
The reason they're looking to throw less weight is this time they don't want to lose their stone that's back there. Want to keep it around in the house. Maybe it can become a factor. So unlock them, roll your shooter away, but leave that yellow stone in the house.
Speciellt om det kan komma någon cent insida. Smiter man där så då kan den inte ta vägen någonstans. Chappen är bra också.
And you can see from that, that blue stone is not going anywhere unless you tap. Doesn't matter how much weight you can throw.
If we nose this. It's a tough double for him.
If we could somehow stay dead in front of the blue, it'd just be so good.
What's wrong with nosing this one?
But yeah, that's good too.
Like we're up here. It's a tough double.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably can't get this past the blue, right?
What are you talking about?
Well, I was just originally looking at the pocket. And then this one almost kisses up into here a wee little bit and leaves an angle. Do you like nose? Nose is pretty good, hey?
We got to make sure we kill this.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
If we nose,
I'm probably thinking to get too fancy.
We're up here, right?
Yeah, you're pretty good there.
And what's he doing? Like
you can't roll behind his corner or anything off that because that's a jam then. That's one thing that helps. I think nose is pretty good, hey?
Okay, I'm gonna throw it hard. Give me center.
Did you? Yeah, okay.
Even if we're on the inside, we can shoot that one over.
Yeah, well, it's not.
Okay,
what
I'll throw hard.
In turn?
Yeah.
You want middle?
Yeah.
Good.
It's tough for Jeff. You know, you're used to calling the game. And all of a sudden it's for somebody else. You're trying to strike the right balance between offering suggestions and ideas. But clearly, if his son doesn't see what he is seeing, he wants to make sure that as he goes to the hack, he's very confident at what he's playing. I see what Jeff was talking about. He was looking at almost trying to hit them in the crotch. So the blue and the yellow right in the middle, the yellow pops, and that perhaps the forward motion might even move that blue stone that's locked back towards the other yellow one. But that was not getting through and did not seem to be what Cody wanted to play. He wants to hit it just off nose. And that's exactly what he's done.
Slag om ni gör det. Ja. Då ligger den helgömd också. Jag måste göra någonting. Tappa han så han är inte bättre med slagstenen.
Ska han dra efter ner?
Kan dra efter kan vi få en dubbel för 3.
Nej, ja, det slaget jag såg. Ja. Jag ser inget annat. Det är möjligtvis göra något sånt här, men
Sarg.
Chappa in där nere.
Sarg, här någonstans. Så.
Halvträff borde vara nära då.
Ja.
Något tunnare kanske till och med. Ta det så.
Ja. Skulle den
Ska den curla så en cent insida är okej.
I'm going to guess that this call is the hit and roll off that stone closest to Oscar and roll behind that corner guard that was thrown there earlier. Doesn't mind leaving that other blue one there. It is actually covering his stone. Maybe there'll be a way for him to make a double for multiples later.
First stone for Niklas Edin, who has last rock here in the fourth end. Down by 3.
Right on the nose is really good.
You know what? Even roll right to here is great. Right? Roll right
I'm
on
just
the
thinking
corner.
there's less forefoot area with the nose.
Okay.
And then what is he going to run the double for one?
Probably. I like
or
going.
He's probably
safer,
coming around this way.
I think it's safer this way, Dad.
Okay, that's fine with me. Well, you seen we threw 2 down there, didn't we?
Not this way. That should be good.
I was further over a bit, right?
Dead nose.
I like Jeff's call. If you stick right there, you take away that side of the house. I don't know that the double will give you shot. It might, but if not, it forces Niklas way out into the weeds to draw to the 4-foot. If you roll, it gives him an opportunity to play either the in or the out. Does take away the hit, though. It depends really what you want your opponent to play.
Last stone for Cody Hartung.
Whoa, no, clean tight, Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And so the draw needs a bite of the 4-foot.
We'll update some of the other C event finals in just a moment. Some scores have changed. We have some good news for Manitoba fans. Last rock here in our featured match, fourth end, down by 3. Niklas Edin is facing 3 and is being forced to take 1 if he can get to that 4-foot.
Lovely shot.
And his sweepers get it there. So Edin forced to take 1, and he now cuts the Hartung lead to 4-2 after 4 ends of play. And we're going to hear from both skips, Kathy, and what do you suspect they'll have to say about their game thus far?
Well, I think that Hartung will be pretty happy. They've had really good rock position every end, and Edin really hasn't had chances to score more than his singles, and you got to be pretty happy with that. And for Niklas Edin, I think that, you know, they might be talking about rock position. They're just a little bit deep and just that little bit off, and Hartung's team is taking advantage of it. So I think he'll be looking for better positioning in the final 4.
The Hartung foursome picked up a deuce in the first end with a draw. Edin was forced to take 1. And then a lovely double with last rock in the third gave the Hartungs another double and a 4-1 lead. And then, as you just saw, Edin was forced to take 1 again in the fourth. And there's your score, 4-2. Mike Valente's downstairs, and I believe he's standing by now with Jeff Hartung. Mike?
Here with Jeff Hartung at 4-2 after 4 ends. How would you describe the play so far tonight?
We're really happy with our play so far tonight. You know, we finished up that game today in an extra end. We didn't have much time to regroup and think about things, so we're quite happy with the way things have gone so far.
What's the key to the second half for you and your team?
You know, we got to make sure that we don't get into too much trouble and keep the middle open so Cody can make his last one. And hopefully, you know, if we score, we're going to go for 2 again if we can, hopefully, and then, you know, just go to defense after that.
Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. We will go to break. It's the 2015 Canad Inns Men's Classic here in Portage La Prairie. Back in a moment.
Sometimes we all need our space, and that goes for recyclables too. Toss them loosely into the bin without stuffing containers into one another. For more recycling tips from Multi-Material Stewardship Manitoba, visit simplyrecycle.ca.
Tavern United, a new world sports pub. With a wide selection of sporting events televised at our 8 locations in Manitoba. Tavern United, your destination for great sports all the time.
Back with Niklas here. Niklas, 4-2, you got a point there in the last end. What are the biggest challenges? What have they been so far tonight?
We haven't really set up the angles right, and when we did, they made some great takeouts to take the end away. So we're struggling a bit right now, and we need to get some good setups and try to generate more points.
Does the strategy change at all in the second half?
Yeah, we got to go all in now. We're 2 down without hammer, so probably about 7-8% to win the game now, so all in.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you to Niklas, and we'll send it back upstairs to Mike and Kathy.
All right, thanks, Mike. And there you have it. As predicted by Kathy Gauthier, he talked about the lack of angles, and exactly what does that mean, Kathy, and what can they do better?
Well, when he talks about the lack of angles, you know, they're placing their stones in the house, but they're putting them at angles such that it allows the Hartung team to remove multiple stones at the same time. We definitely saw that in 3 where the stones were lined up. And, you know, 1 great hit, 2 went. Niklas slides in a little bit too deep, and all of a sudden there's an angle opportunity for a double, and it's made. And so I thought, you know, he was very accurate in saying that, you know, they weren't putting the rocks in the right spots and that the Hartung team was taking advantage of them. So it really is about placement of stones. I don't know that they're going to do a whole lot different than they did. They're just hoping for some better execution.
And in an 8-end game, he felt like they had to get things going. They're only down by 2, though, and only a steal or a deuce away from getting back into it.
They are, and you know, I do not mean to harp on momentum, but I do believe it's a huge factor. You heard Jeff say, you know, we hardly had any time. We didn't really even think about stuff. We come back in this great game, and we come out here, and they're flying because they were down. They thought they were driving back to Langenburg, Saskatchewan tonight, and instead, you know, they take 4 points. They steal 2 in the extra end, and now they're playing in this game, and they're up 2 with playing 5. If that doesn't fire you up, not much will.
Yeah, and Kathy's referring to an earlier game just a few hours ago against Willie Lyburn, and they were down 6-2 or 6-3 and rallied to win in an extra end. Just updating our other C event finals, and again, the winners move on to the playoffs tomorrow, the final 8. The losers are eliminated. Reed Crothers of Manitoba has opened up a 5-2 lead on Craig Brown of the U.S., who incidentally has Pete Fenson as his third in this event. I'm not sure if Pete's curling with him the whole year, but a pretty formidable team there, and Reed's up 5-2. Brendan Botcher of Edmonton is up 4-2 on Mark Keane of Hamilton, and Matt Dunstone is down 2-0 to Yasuki Morozumi of Japan. So 4 more teams will advance to join the 4 that have already qualified.
Stone in here.
Go for line. Time. Tyler. Go if you can.
Well, we can a wee bit.
Oh, off. You can a lot.
Want to commend our crew here at ShawTV, the people in the truck, and the hard workers downstairs, our camera people who are out on the ice doing back-to-back games. It's not easy. It's much easier just to sit up here and talk.
That's for sure.
And of course, always the hospitable, gracious folks at Canad Inns for having us here up in Tavern United and putting on such a fine event, for being great sponsors of this event and the one next week, the Women's Classic.
Boy, this is really going sideways.
And it wrecks out front.
Lots of weight for that shot. Not sure whether he got it a little bit inside or pointed it or was a little bit soft with it to have it go that hard.
What do you guys like?
That was going right out of his hand. Bit of an update. The Japanese team, Morizumi, stole another one against Matt Dunstone. Not sure how much you could see, but he did have the opportunity. Was playing for 4, gave up the steal. And so it is a 3-0 lead as they will play 5. Shot by Jeff Hartung on the sheet that we're covering. Getting that guard out of there and also removing the Edin stone out in the wings.
Splitta upp det där lite. Nej, här.
Christian Lidström, the second for Team Edin.
Ja, linje. Han tappar farten. Hårt, var 10. Hårt! Ellie.
Normal's good. Pardon? Normal. Clean. Clean. Just clean right now. Yep. Yep. Easy. Whoa. Whoa.
Right to the wing, maybe, but.
Shot.
Kan ju fortfarande dra här, men vi kan spela en vikt där också. Få ner här bakom 10. Okay.
Now there's a couple of options. One, you go around those 3 to the back of the 4-foot. The angles are not great for the Hartung team to get it out. The other is that you make a move and you move them around a little bit and try to roll behind the corner.
Bort med den och den. Försöka få kvar den där bara någonstans. Okej, prova det. Jag tror det är normal.
You heard him, he's calling normal, so they're still hitting. He said he was going in all way. That might suggest that he would be playing the draw or the moving the stones around, the redirect off, but instead asking Oscar to play the hit and roll.
Into third stones now, the first for Oscar Eriksson.
Is this any good? I don't know what you can do with that, really.
But could we split? Hey, could we chip this blue behind this other blue, and roll way over to the wing, and then that's an easy peel with the out turn. Can we move that blue behind the other blue?
Like this?
Yeah. And push it back in there. Is it look logical? It's pretty good.
Okay. Okay.
Does it not look good to you?
Even straight up isn't horrible.
Well, but then we still got he's still got so much to work with for pockets. I don't like
play this son. I like that.
Challenge is that with the score what it is, up 2 with, you really kind of want to get rid of that yellow one, but the way that it's been placed to either try the pick on the in or the out turn, it's a pretty good chance it's going to go on to your own.
For sure.
So they figure the best thing to do is to change their angle. So try to essentially play the split on the shot stone, move it over a little bit, roll far enough away that it unlocks that yellow stone, will give them access to get rid of it on their next shot.
The first for Tyler Hartung.
Hard if it's heavy.
It's heavy. Get as thin as you can.
Kill it.
Hard, Claire. That's good.
That's pretty good, Ty.
Good boy. Good shot.
Normal. Långa micken bakom mig.
Trying to play the hit and roll ideally behind those 2 stones.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Very nice shot.
Mm-hmm. Now, for our curling wannabes out there, Kathy, how does one ensure that they're on a proper line right out of the hack for a shot such as that?
Well, you know what, your job as a thrower is just to throw the right weight to the broom, and it really is up to Niklas Edin to put the broom in the right spot and to ensure that he calls the sweepers on at the right time so that you will get the roll. I think sometimes people make it more complicated for themselves. You don't have to sit in the hack and think I have to make the double angle raise takeout. You just have to hit the guard where you're supposed to hit the guard.
Ja. Mycket vis vill ha.
Samma linje som indragning, den hamnar ju där gula ligger.
Ja, den låg här.
Gadda.
Då hade vi typ is här.
Ja. Frågan om vi ska ha lite mer, men... Ja.
Edin down by 2 without hammer in this end. What are they playing here, Kathy?
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to guess that he's either going to corner freeze that blue stone so there is no run back straight onto his own, or a straight guard. Straight guard it is.
Real good.
Okay, when we came here a couple ends ago, you were right here.
There's my
right?
mark, yeah.
We need quite a bit
You
here,
almost
Dad.
need to get, yeah, well.
I think we need in there somewhere.
That gets you here.
Yeah.
So you can probably go there. That's probably pretty good. You're basically just crossing center. Kind of.
What's that?
Do you guys like that?
Okay. No, just straight peel. The other way.
You're not giving yourself much hours.
Don't worry about that one.
No, for sure. You could kick it in too.
So the front end observing from the other end are not so comfortable with the draw, knowing that the scoreboard dictates what the shot is, electing just to play the peel. If he doesn't make a perfect guard on his second one, there still may be a chance to play the straight back for 3. And if he does, he'll draw then where he doesn't have to be so perfect where it winds up.
No. Just clean. Just clean. Hooka förra lite så förhoppningsvis kan han ha lite bättre linje, men risk att det behöver gå på slutet för det exakt samma som förra gången.
So for Niklas, taking the same ice, presumably throwing the same shot, trying to force his opponent to 1. You don't really want to give up any more points in this game, but if he gives 1 and then takes 2 or 3 with the hammer, keeps himself very much in this game.
Bara stanna, det är risk över, bara stanna. Bara stanna, bara stanna.
Låt den gå själv.
Sitt.
Ingen inte se något skräp nu.
Ja.
So now the draw for Cody, and this time he doesn't have to worry about sliding a little bit behind the tee line, having not enough ice. He can just work to be full 4 for the single and a 3-point lead.
Last rock, 5th end. Cody Hartung facing 1. Needs full 4.
Really good here.
And he draws to the button. So the Hartung foursome picks up 1 here in the 5th, and they increase their lead to 5-2 over world champion Niklas Edin. Let's check in now with Mike Valente. Mike?
Thank you very much, Mike. Just a quick social media plug for you. We're on Twitter tonight at ShawTV Winnipeg. So if you're at home watching our coverage on television, why don't you comment? Tweet us at ShawTV Winnipeg. We'd appreciate the support. Also, a reminder, tomorrow we'll be on the air at 6 o'clock for the final match of the 2015 Canadians Classic, Men's Classic to be exact, here on ShawTV. Back in a moment.
Tavern United, a new world sports pub. With a wide selection of sporting events televised at our 8 locations in Manitoba. Tavern United, your destination for great sports all the time.
Updating you on all the C event finals this evening. Matt Dunstone of Winnipeg is trailing Yasuki Morozumi of Japan 3-0. An update on the Botcher-Keane match. It is now 6-2 for Brendan Botcher over Mark Keane. And Reed Crothers of Manitoba leads Craig Brown of the United States by a score of 5-2. So good to see Reed rebounding after losing to Kevin Cooey in a B event final.
He looks pretty mad out there tonight. We talked about Dan Carey joining their team as a coach and would have spent some time with them between the draws. Very limited time.
Same weight.
But boy, they have come out all guns a-blazing, lying 5 right now as we're down to skip shots next door. He's really had Steve Brown and his team in a lot of trouble.
Reed was on a pretty good run in the A event, even beat Cooey actually earlier in this event, but then ran into Brad Jacobs, who won the A event qualifier that they played in, and then Reed lost to Cooey, so he's on his last leg, but looking pretty good at this stage of the contest, and just may qualify for the playoffs tomorrow. 8 teams qualify, 4 are already in. Stephen Laycock, Jacobs, Cooey, and Charlie Thomas out of the Glencoe Curling Club in Calgary. (5-2) is the score for Jeff Hartung out of Langenburg, Saskatchewan, leading defending world champion Niklas Edin.
He flipped this stone right out of his hand, so it's going so far over to the boards. Niklas calling them off. I don't know that you could bury behind there anywhere and be in a not gettable spot.
Jeff with the peel, throwing second stone. Seems to work really well with his sons.
Very much so, I would agree. And I'm not sure at what point they've gone from Jeff calling the game to just playing second, holding the broom in the house, but for sure Cody seems very comfortable in not only calling the game, but throwing that last rock. We talked about that last guard just going so far over, knowing that it cannot be utilized to be buried because it's just so high and so far over that Hartung's team will be able to get it. Niklas trying to make use of it though, and using it essentially as the long guard. When you play the 1-3 system, you usually throw a long guard and a tighter guard. You're just trying to build up some granite on that side of the sheet, maybe find something to hide behind.
It's got to be quite a thrill to be able to compete with your sons.
Yeah,
at the world-class level as
you
well.
Look at the teams that do involve mothers and daughters, fathers and sons, and you know, you hear that all the time. Glenn Howard, a great example of making a big change on his team that he'd been with forever, to have an opportunity to put Scott in that lineup, because I think Glenn knows he's not playing for a lot more years at that level, and to be able to do that and potentially win with your son or your daughter would be just, it would be crazy good. And the Hartung family for sure extremely competitive. Now with that peel, he is going to try to utilize that guard that he does have.
Fortfarande Karla, men bra fart. Nästan ner på T-line. Ja, vänta så länge ni kan. Kör. Kommer nu, gå, järn. Hela vägen. Ja, bra.
Hack. Hack time. Okay.
Very good.
Weight's good. Whoa. Clean, yep. Whoa. Whoa. Up. Clean. Whoa. Whoa.
Perfect.
Hard.
All the way, Cody, go. As far as you can. Go. Keep going.
Sorry, Ty. My fault.
Hej. Mitt bakåt eller?
Den här är halva åtsfoten.
Mitt bakåt eller?
Well, it is second shot at the back, so freezing to it would not give you shot, but getting frozen back to it does not allow the straight run by the Hartung team to get rid of it. That's a great shot. We've shown so many precise shots by Oscar tonight. Freezes that don't move. This is tough because you have to stay in your mind that you don't have to throw it to the back 8, that that's what your brushers are there for. It's right down to that back stone.
Going hard.
Solid player.
What he doesn't think it's, aren't we going to hit it center line side anyway, the way it's lined up, if you dead nose it? Okay, so
Think
dead
just a
nose.
bit center line side.
Intern? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
There is
really
a lot
hard,
of space
really
between those stones, so they're not looking at the drag effect coming into play. It's just the double raise.
Okay.
Very nice.
Wow.
And with only one rock left in play, we'll try one more time to utilize that corner guard. Ouch.
And what does that do at this juncture?
Well, you know what? It's one of those things that if you're short when you're down, you can always utilize this stone. Once they're deep, they don't come back, and there's not much that you can do with it. You can play the freeze down to it, but now that Cody has the opportunity to draw in on line 2, any freeze down to that back stone while counting will not be 1 or 2.
Into skip stones now, the first for Cody Hartung.
Needs to curl a bit. Let it work. Needs to curl.
Now, the Hartung team would love to continue their trend of forcing Niklas Edin to take one when he has hammer.
More off. Whoa, 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 whoa. Good. Sorry, guys. Känns som att frysa den där. Hoppas att han missar, så får man den här dubbeln för 2. Eller ska man vicka bakom där?
Kanske en större chans.
Vad var det?
Ja, det kanske är en större chans.
Ja.
Han lär inte missa hela jävla bot alltså.
Nej. Frysa den där. Han missar aldrig blästen. Det är större chans att han missar skjutningen va?
Ja.
Ja, testa.
Spela för fart.
10 blir nog bra.
Okej.
It appears that what the choice is to remove second shot and roll behind that stone in the forefoot, knowing that it won't be shot stone, but trying to utilize anything. And at this point, using a Hartung shot stone as a guard.
First stone in the 6th end for Niklas Edin, down by 3. He has the hammer in this end.
I'll go take a look.
You have lots of room.
Now it just really takes off with that softer weight. It is that in-between weight that's just really hard to know how fast they will go. Does stick around, but rolls far enough that for Cody Hartung from the hack should be able to see plenty to be able to remove it and roll out. Sticks, that's fine.
That's good.
Last stone for Cody Hartung. Just trying to remove the one, the Dean stone. Counting.
We were good.
That stone rolling out, and so for Niklas Edin, we'll try to blank this end and roll it out. Work hard to score 2 in the 7th.
Last rock, 6th end, looking to blank. And try his luck in the next end. And that's exactly what the Swedish team does. So a blanked 6th end. The gap is still 3 with Team Hartung leading Niklas Edin 5-2. We're back with more from Portage in just a moment. You're watching the Canad Inns Men's Classic on ShawTV.
First 2 seasons of curling, Alex Marchand won 7 games. 8 games. In that time, he put together a 2-game winning streak, got new uniforms, met an Olympic gold medalist, made the front page of Curling Monthly. He explained to his boss what sweeping does, and got his butt kicked by a guy with a fake hip. Yes, Alex the Hack Marchand has had quite a year, and it all started with a click.
Hey guys, what's up?
Frank forgot to bring the ball. Sorry. So now we need something we can throw and kick that's not too big and slightly oblong.
What are you guys looking at? The least I can say, I'm naturally talented at football!
If you love the game as much as we do, go deep with the Shaw Road to the Grey Cup with exclusive interviews, game day features, and more.
Canad Inns Destination Centers, proud to support our community with 10 destination centers in Manitoba.
Welcome back to Portage, and we're checking in on some of the other C event finals here, and this is Morozumi of Japan up 3-0 on Matt Dunstone of East St. Paul. This is last rock coming up.
Well, and he is facing 3. Matt ran a guard back on his final stone, was trying to hit them all in a row. That would have left him lying 3 buried, but he hit it at such an angle that the shot stone actually popped into the open. And so for Morozumi, has an open hit and stick for the point, but it is against 3. Same pants that you have on.
Morozumi out of Japan. please do not adjust your sets. That may actually break one of our cameras, those patterns. And gets the nose hit to go up 4-0 on Matt Dunstone.
4-1. Matt did
4-1.
score in the 5th, yeah.
Oh, I can see that from here. No, I can't. You got, how was it? Maybe I should borrow your glasses.
You might.
Just updating some of our other games. Brendan Botcher of Edmonton has opened up a 7-2 lead now on Mark Keane of Hamilton. So that one's just about in the books.
Yeah.
And again, berths in the championship final 8 are up for grabs here. And Reed Crothers is up on Craig Brown. And it's 5-3 Crothers. And in our featured match, still 5-2, now curling the 7th. Jeff Hartung looking for a big victory here over the defending world champion, Niklas Edin.
And once again, it is the stones belonging to Hartung in the house, and there are 2 guards spread out this time for Niklas Edin, and so for the Hartung team, we'll just remove 1 at a time.
And I've been pretty impressed. I mean, considering they had maybe 15 minutes between games, they played it on the 5 o'clock draw as well. If you missed it, they've been pretty solid tonight.
They have.
The Edin rink had a chance to win a B event final, but lost to Charlie Thomas of Calgary. And so they're trying to get through via the C event. A long day of curling all around, no matter how you slice it.
Clean. Clean's good. Just clean, guys.
Just the A event winners, they were out practicing, but they had the day off. That can be both good and bad,
I was
guess,
just
huh,
going
Kathy?
to say, it really can. You know, if you take a look at historically Bonspils, it is teams that come through B and C that have often greater success than the A, and it's just because you get on a roll, you're very comfortable with the ice, you don't step away from it. There's definitely times, though, that those teams have a really good routine and they step away. I know the Jacobs team, it would be definitely, they would have gone to a gym today, they would have worked out, they threw some rocks, and it can also be a rest when you're traveling that you sometimes need. But a lot of these teams will have played 3 games today, and if you're going to win it tomorrow, you're going to have to win another 3 in a row. And so it really does go back to the fitness factor that we talked about earlier. If you're not in great shape this early in the year, 2-3 game days back to back starts to really show in your ability to finish off stones and work hard and stay mentally tough. Gets a nice roll behind that stone. Also taps the other one back, something that they can freeze too. So 2 things accomplished there.
Dead nose.
What happened, Ty? Yeah, whatever.
Into third stones now, the first for Tyler Hartung.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay. That's fine. Get that right over there.
Limma.
And so they've shaken hands over on sheet 4, and it's Brendan Botcher.
Down the middle.
qualifying for the championship round, defeating Mark Keane. And that one quite lopsided.
Inte råd att dutta med den här linjen. Den är bra, perfekt linje.
One sweeper behind the tee line. See, there still is some space between that yellow stone and the blue one, and so for Tyler trying to chip it out sideways. Just like that.
Linjen är bra. Något vid kanske, reparen.
I'll go see the look.
I think you can hit it thick and get it out of there.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, like getting it in here.
Yeah.
That guard is quite long, and from the hack you can see almost all of that stone. If you hit even what he can
Any
see.
chance of this? Stick. If we take the guard, it's fine. It's not the end of the world.
Into skip stones now. The first for Cody Hartung, trying to remove that yellow rock of Niklas Edin's. And he wrecks out front.
We heard him say, if I wreck the guard, it's not that bad. You don't want to go by on the outside and jam it and allow Edin a chance that way to come back on top. At least he's kept it open. But for Niklas, a chance to draw to line 2.
Framför våran så vi kan lika gärna bakom tid. Ingen dubbel. Säkert ligga 2 i alla fall. Ja, kör. Håll i den. Okej, bra där. Sorry, bra så.
Roll Cody somewhere near it, I guess.
Okay. I'll throw firm.
Try and roll
Now it's
near it
over.
somewhere.
I'll be firm.
Do you want
center the rock.
Okay.
It's funny, half the time I think Jeff wants to have a bit of a conversation with his son, but he's gone.
I'm gonna keep it up.
No double there. It jams on itself on that back blue one, but would like to roll at least to that side of the house if they could, so that for Niklas Edin, it's not just a hit and stick, that he has to maybe be very careful about how he hits it.
Yep.
And maybe even take his own back one out.
Yeah! Hard! Hard! Yeah! Hard!
And an update from sheet number 5. Last rock for Reed Crothers, up 5-3 on Craig Brown of the United States.
So Craig Brown drew in on his last one. Reed's got to play this as tight as he can to maybe have a chance for 2. Needs to really finish hard. There's the yellow one. And Braden will get that far enough, and it will be just that stone at the very top of the house that will come into play. So that is a 3-point edge for Reed as they will play in 7.
6-3 lead, and here's last rock for Niklas Edin here in the 7th.
A long-awaited deuce.
He has an open draw for 2, so suddenly we've got a game as we head to the 8th end. The first deuce of the game for Niklas Edin. 5-4 is the score, and finally a smile for the world champion. 1-point game as we head for home here in Portage. You're watching the Canad Inns Men's Classic on ShawTV.
Lids and labels, leave them be. When the container is empty, it's ready to be recycled. For more recycling tips from Multi-Material Stewardship Manitoba, visit simplyrecycle.ca.
ShawTV presents the Canad Inns Women's Classic live from Portage La Prairie, Manitoba. The women take to the ice for week 2 of our Canad Inns coverage, beginning Saturday at 5 p.m. with their final match on Sunday at 6 p.m. Catch the action at the Canad Inns Women's Classic, live from Portage La Prairie, Manitoba, exclusively on ShawTV and Shaw Direct, Channel 299.
Tavern United, a new world sports pub. With a wide selection of sporting events televised at our 8 locations in Manitoba. Tavern United, your destination for great sports all the time.
Welcome back to Portage. Mike Beauregard, Kathy Gauthier, Mike Valente, and our Shaw crew. Pleased to be bringing you another year of the Canad Inns Men's Classic from the Portage Curling Club. Our featured match, a C event final between Niklas Edin, defending world champion, and Jeff Hartung of Langenburg, Saskatchewan. And it's the rink from Saskatchewan with a 5-4 lead as we play the 8th end, and they have last rock.
You can even see in the body language of the team from Sweden just a lot more energy after that 2. Not only are they within 1, but I think that finally they found a way to put that 2 on the board, bring it within reach. You're not looking at scoring 2 for the win, but if you can, that's great. They're really looking to find a way to steal 1. And they can go all out in this end. It really doesn't matter if you give 6. It really is about finding a way to get 1.
Yeah, they play 8 ends on the World Curling Tour. Makes a big difference if you fall behind early. But we have seen some comebacks.
Oh, for sure.
This Hartung rink wouldn't be here if they didn't rally from 3 or 4 down against Willie Lyburn in their previous game.
He's got a little less ice for you, so probably right.
That one just got away from the Lyburn foursome, and that had to hurt.
Yeah, it's
because all the damage was done in the last 2 or 3
It really
ends.
was, and we were looking over there, and it was almost like a deja vu at the 8th and the extra end. There was 3 rocks in the 4-foot belonging to the Hartung team, and just no shot really for Willie by the time he came to throw. So successful pick or tick shot on the first one. That one moved it off of the center line. Pretty surprised if he would go in this early. Changing his mind, going to play the guard instead. Completely agree with that call. It's pretty early, and if you go in and you're deep and they peel that stone, now you're guarding a stone in the back of the 8-foot. Pretty difficult to steal, but if you continue to throw a guard, you're only on your second stones. You can wait for Niklas to go in. Especially given that you are shot stone right now. Ideally stop there, create as much separation between the stones. Looking for the pair.
Okay. Vänta på, vi ska lägga en hög gard för den här. Sätt en dubbel så är matchen över. Lägg en hög gard för den här istället. Försöka täcka lite insida. Så.
He's definitely calling a guard again. We saw him just tap in front of that stone. I'm not sure why they're playing that far to the wings. I guess he feels that it's very easy to peel off the center line. So trying to create some separation very much as you would on the center line, just feeling that perhaps there's more movement or less movement just off.
Clean. Clean is good.
Second stone for Jeff Hartung.
Clean is really good.
Peels that high guard.
Kan ju dra hit. Och skicka den garden hit då.
Ja, skicka den upp på där skulle jag säga.
Bestäm dig.
Eller så drar vi här nu. Får han skicka den, ta någonsin tjockt så kan vi runda till där. Han lär ju inte frysa. Strax bakom T-line.
Inte långt.
Gärna curla.
Är det farten?
Fortfarande curla.
Vänta om den är bra.
Okej, bra nu då. Järnet. Järnet, så långt det går, så långt det går. Så långt, kom igen. Ja då. Kind of wait if you like.
Probably 3/4 of that stone available to Tyler from the hack.
Whoa! Whoa! Ah! No.
Not bad. Samma. Vill ha mindre is eller?
Ja, få lite mindre. Om jag satte den bra så kan jag ta mindre, men...
Jag tyckte du satte den här ungefär.
Second stone for Oscar Eriksson. Same play, Kathy?
It seems to be, yeah. Hoping to get this one a little bit more buried. He had good weight on the last shot, but they had lots of room by that top guard, and so 3/4 were open. You can see they're going to go by that guard with quite a bit of room again. So trying to take it back farther. Didn't really bury that much more.
Board, okay.
There's lots of room, hey guys?
Should be good here then.
Yeah, board's good. Board's good.
Matt Dunstone has picked up one in the 7th. He's cut Yasuki Morizumi's lead to 4-2 now as they play the 8th end. And Reed Crothers has a 6-3 lead on Craig Brown. Winners move to the championship round, and Brendan Botcher has picked up a victory tonight, taking one of the C event qualifying birds. Jeff Hartung's rink has last rock here in the 8th and a 5-4 lead on Niklas Edin.
With this ice, looks like they're playing down to that stone just rolled there. For Cody Hartung, you have to feel pretty happy with the way that this end is unfolding. Your opponent is trying to draw to a stone that it's at the back of the 8-foot. There's only one guard, and it's far over, away from the 4-foot. This one an open shot.
Into skip stones now in the 8th. The first for Niklas Edin, 2-time world champion. Plenty of separation there.
There is.
Are you interested in staying there?
Take it clean.
Not for a lack of effort, anyhow.
No. Now lots of separation, so it means relatively easy for Cody. Just wants to pick it clean, make it go away. Don't think there's a lot of advantage of trying to play it cuter and rolling around. You just create a bit of a pocket at the back for Niklas Edin to draw to.
Clean. Yep. Whoa. Clean.
First stone for Cody Hartung. Removing the Edin stone.
Jag läser in där borta, det kanske är den här som är enklare. Det kan han inte dra.
Vi låg andra, sa du?
Ja. Jag kan dubbelkolla i fredag.
Spelade den lösa vicken där som rullade, den rullade ju dit när vi skulle rulla bakom den. Låg väl här nere. Ja, då spelade du outen, ja.
Just making sure that they are in fact second shot. Sounds like they are, and so he's playing the hit to lie 2.
Vart vill du vicka?
Bara ditt fast den här.
Okej.
Thinking that his opponent will play the hit. Whether he will or not is up to Cody.
Vicka ditt fast den här. 10.
Stay tuned for our post-game show. Mike Valente will have interviews, and we'll have some final thoughts from Kathy and update you on the other scores. Last stone for Niklas Edin, trying to manufacture a steal. Down by 1 here in the 8th.
Yeah. But lots.
Edin is shot here.
Just to make it go away.
Keep the booms down right away, Ty.
Last rock,
Clean it all the
8th
way.
end.
Clean
Jeff
it all the way.
Hartung's team with an opportunity to advance to the championship round, and they do a hit and stick.
Thanks, guys.
For Cody Hartung, they score 3 in the 8th and dispose of the reigning world champion by a score of 8-4. Huge victory for the Langenburg, Saskatchewan rink. And another qualifier from the C event has been determined. We're back with much more of the Canad Inns Men's Classic. Our post-game show is next. 8-4 the score. Hartung over Edin. Stay tuned.
Canada West football is live on Shaw. Tune in Friday, October 23rd when the high-flying UBC Thunderbirds touch down in Saskatoon for a battle with the Saskatchewan Huskies. Crown Produce, Canada West football, only on Shaw.
ShawTV wants to send 2 deserving recipients to the 103rd Grey Cup. Do you know a super fan, a football player doing great work in their community, or perhaps a teacher who goes above and beyond for their students? Tell us why this person deserves a pair of tickets to the Grey Cup, and they will be entered to win tickets to the biggest CFL game of the year.
Canad Inns Destination Centers, proud to support our community with 10 destination centers in Manitoba.
Welcome back to the Portage Curling Club, where Jeff Hartung of Langenburg, Saskatchewan has defeated reigning world champion Niklas Edin 8-4 for a berth in the championship round of 8. And a quick thought from you, Kathy.
Well, I just think that the momentum that the Hartung team seemed to get off that huge comeback after being down 3 or 4 and then getting to the extra end and stealing that really rolled over to tonight. They looked very confident out there versus Niklas Edin, who'd come off of a loss and probably pretty frustrated with that, and it really was Hartung's game.
And our Mike Valente is standing by with the winning skip. Mike?
Thank you very much. Here with Jeff. Pretty close there for most of the game, but you pulled away in the final end. How does it feel?
Feels really good. You know, a week ago we lost a C final in Edmonton, so it was really nice to get back to another qualified game and have a shot at it.
What does it do for your team's confidence heading into tomorrow?
I think our confidence is really high right now. I think we've got 4 wins in a row or something now. So yeah, everybody feels really good. I think we're playing the way we want to play right now, and we look forward to tomorrow.
Well, congratulations, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks again.
There he is, Jeff Hartung, an 8-4 victory. That'll wrap our coverage. We started at 5 o'clock. It's just after the 11 o'clock hour. And a reminder, we will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. for the final match. It's the 2015 Canad Inns Men's Classic from Portage La Prairie on ShawTV. Good night, everybody.